are about 10 days out from the election, that's a little bit different calculus. Whoever is leading at this point, since it's so late, probably shouldn't do the interview, especially because Rogan can ask questions that are unconventional. So like if
Okay, so anywho, this is the cope to say that Trump shouldn't have went on Rogan.
Right, we're rolling. Good to see you, sir. Here we go.
I like this actually for that quick moment, you know, and it's funny because.
Yes, sir. Here we go.
Yep, there he goes. There's the guy. There's the interview everybody's been waiting for. Joe Rogan and Donald Trump sat down and they talked about a lot, but not all of it. But anyway, Donald Trump stepped into Joe Rogan's studio and history was made.
Here we go. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about, I wanted to play this, but we decided we shouldn't play it because it could get copyright strike, and we don't want to get the episode. We don't want anybody to have any sort of way to get it down.
Sure.
But it was the episode of you when you were on The View, and I think it was 2015 or 2006, like when you were running for president.
Right.
And you got introduced as our friend Donald Trump.
That's right.
Whoopi Goldberg gives you a big hug and a kiss. Joy Behar gives you a big hug. Barbara Walters gives you a big hug. They all loved you. They were all talking about how you're you might be conservative in your financial positions, but you're very liberal socially. They were talking about you as such a favorable light. The audience was cheering. And then you actually started winning in the polls, and then the machine started working towards you.
Yeah.
But there's probably no one in history that I've ever seen that's been attacked the way you've been attacked, and the way they've done it, so coordinated and systematic.
And so, you know what, just in case, because I can see this happening, I can see it happening, we're going to do, unfortunately, one of those things where we have to play it in a faster speed, if you will, because I just don't want anything to be, you know, like taken down or whatever. So we're gonna do something here like this. But he's already starting off with a huge point, and the fact is that these people used to love Trump, and it's so crazy when that happened. You know, when he decided to run, I thought it was a joke. And it's just so crazy where we've come in time where it's like now it's like normal to think that Trump is running for president. I thought it was an absolute joke. I was like, oh, what, he's running for president? I'm like, ha, he's not a politician. And like life now is like people are talking about The Rock running for president now, and, you know, and all sorts of other things. So it's funny just to see how time flies and everything. And then again, like I said, like who would have ever thought in 2021 it would be like, man, you know, it was like this trailblazing thought to think like Joe Rogan should have Trump on. And at first it's like, on a podcast? It's so insane, your belief system, how fast it can switched up when necessary. It's like you just make magic happen, you know? So yeah, so that happened, and you know, they talk about that, but like I want to kind of get to, Trump had some candid moments. I mean, obviously he was talking about a lot of things as far as, you know, the environmental agencies, what happened with his first term and all of that. There's just one candid moment that he kind of had, and I always like to go back to it because he's talked about this military experience or whatever, if you will.
500, and I'm telling you, there wasn't a light on the runway, nothing. And we're going in. You okay, Captain? Everything good? Yes, sir. No problem. We'll be down in about 1 minute, sir. And I'm telling you, Joe, you know, there's always a light. There's not a little pin. And all of a sudden, psh, and you hear, wah, wah, perfect landing like glass. That's how good. I mean, these guys, between the equipment and it's genius. It's pure. It was so dark, you couldn't see a thing. There was no runway. You wouldn't know where the hell you are. You're in the middle of a desert. And then I got out of the plane. I said, thank you, Captain. That's a great job. And then I got out of the plane, and I'm going down, and I see a general and another general. And I see a staff sergeant, a drill sergeant, and various guys, all central casting. Central casting. They said, sir, would you like to rest? I said, I don't want to rest. I want to figure out what the hell are we doing with ISIS. I'm hearing we can't. It's going to take years. No, sir, we can do it very quickly, sir. And anyway, we go into the room. Biden would have taken a nap for 4 days and then left without a meeting. So we go into the room, and they have these guys. I say, how long can you do it? How long? We can do it in a couple of weeks, sir. I said, wait a minute, they told me 5 years. We can do it in, I don't know, he gave me a number, like in no time. I said, why haven't you done it? Because the orders came in from Washington, sir, and they would come here and tell us what to do. Don't you challenge us? We're not allowed to do that, sir. That's not the military way. They tell us what to do, and we have to respect them.
So do you think that it was incompetence why they didn't go after ISIS?
I think it's a bad system. You know, when Mattis goes there or when Milley goes there, who's stupid, and they tell these guys that are actually smart what to do, and the guys that are smart are saying, we don't like what they're doing, but they're not allowed to sort of counteract. Plus, the guys that went there are arrogant. You know, they're arrogant fools. They're like stupid fools. The way they pulled out of, the way they, as an example, the way they pulled out of a...
And he goes into talking about Afghanistan. So what I want to explain, because this is why, too, it's good to see the reactions. And we'll look at a couple of reactions to Trump going on the Joe Rogan show. But there's a couple of things I wanted to touch on for myself, right? So what he's explaining there is how he took out ISIS. And he always makes sure to say the generals, I took out ISIS in weeks because of the good generals. They were good generals, and that's how he starts. They look so good. They good, star-studded looking, better than Tom Cruise looking. I guess he's saying that they take care of themselves. They look right, they're appropriate, whatever, and that's what's up, right? He was always very proud of our servicemen and all that. And I that made me really like him when I started listening to exactly what he was saying. Trump said, you have to bring yourself back to 2015, 2014, 2013, if you will. And I remember ISIS. And I remember, it's like, oh, we can't take down ISIS. We can't take down ISIS. Oh, ISIS. Oh, this is just horrible. Islamic terrorism. And then this guy comes, and he really did get rid of ISIS. And, of course, they're back now. ISIS-K, ISIL, whatever you want to call them. But if you really know the history very well, you'll know that Obama did say that we might have, okay? Follow the paper trail. I have to be careful. And then you wonder why it comes from Washington that we're not allowed to take ISIS down in 4 weeks. And then you wonder why then he takes ISIS down. And then you wonder why there's not a second term right after the first one. This next term coming up now, I'm not thrilled at all. But if it would have been right after that first one, my God, this country would look so different. It would look different. It really would. It is what it is. We can't go back. What he's explaining is that they had to land the plane in the dark because if they had the lights on, ISIS would have started shooting at the plane. But yet, it's funny because there's a certain place that ISIS never tries to take out, and it's Israel, right? You go ahead and you do the additions with that. Now,
51 intelligence agents lied. They lied. They lied. They knew it was. It was Hunter's. It was from his bed. It was Hunter's laptop. They said it was created by Russia. Russia. It was the Russia hoax. The Russia hoax was a big hoax. It was all a big hoax. So
that's clear. That's one example. That is a good example.
That's a big example. They say it made a 17-point difference. That's a big example. But that's only one. And you could go into the ballots where they wouldn't give you access to the ballots.
And so this is what Joe Rogan was asking Trump, like, why do you say that, you won, but you didn't win or whatever? And he breaks it down. And one of the things that he did say was legislation. And I lived in Pennsylvania. I saw it happen where we put no excuse mail-in ballots. I mean, I've never seen a country upturn itself like that. I mean, it was just bananas. It was bonkers. It was just ridiculous. By the way, this is why it's important to know. It's important to know the truth about a lot of things, if not everything, right? We do regime change in other countries all the time. Be clear. I'm not a leftist, okay? I don't subscribe to those labels, to those names, just because I know a lot of stuff that leftists talk about, because they're not so blindly patriotic. They love, and I'm talking about like a Jimmy Dore, okay, a Max Blumenthal, or something like that, So they'll call them leftists. These are classic libs who love their country, but they want to be real about what our military-industrial complex, what, that mixed with the Israel lobby and things like that, what is really going on in the country. So anyway, this isn't, oh, she's a left. No, man, I don't subscribe to any of, like I said, these labels. I don't. But coming back to it, and I made this point, with Trump, everything he's saying, yeah, with the legislation, this country upturned itself. It did. It made no sense. So the same regime change, this is something I've always said because I watched it happen here between the Great Cough, okay, and the George Floyd Summer of Love. I said, oh, we did a coup in our own country. And I will always feel that way. Even though today I don't trust the donors around Trump. I don't. Look at them. But it's a shame. It's a real shame, because if he would have got that second term right after the first one, this donor class, the Israel lobby, all of that wouldn't have had a chance to swell up and grow. And, I just feel like we would be much better off. But I just want to go to a couple of the reactions.
But when you take that out, Kamala Harris, with everyone else in America, is leading by 26. So to me, one of the things that says is Trump is winning social media in a big, big way. And Kamala Harris, has she done a social media interview? She probably has, but I mean, it was probably
Did she do a call your daddy?
Oh yeah, she did that podcast. That's kind of social media, right? So like they just did mainstream media, but mainstream media is already on your side. The viewers are pretty much on your side. And so I don't think they understand that social media, digital media even quite exists. They're like, oh no, we'll get some TikTokers to say nice things about us, we'll pay them, etc. But that's not anywhere near enough. But okay, back to Rogan. Look, if it's the beginning of the campaign, what I would say to them is, both of them, my advice would be definitely do it. What are you gonna do? Like, do you think you should be president? If you think you should be president, go make that case. Go make that case on Rogan. Go make that case on MSNBC. Go make that case on Fox News. Go make that case everywhere, and don't stop making your own case. Get all the free media you can. Now, here we are, about 10 days out from the election. That's a little bit different calculus. Whoever is leading at this point, since it's so late, probably shouldn't do the interview, especially because Rogan can ask questions that are unconventional. So like if
Okay, so anywho, this is the cope to say that Trump shouldn't have went on Rogan. By Cenk, okay? Listen. Look, and I'm not over here being this person that's like, oh my God, Trump did amazing. He did amazing. I do think a lot of it was softballed. I wanted Trump to get into Iran. During the time of taping this interview, Israel was striking Iran. You wouldn't know that because they didn't talk about that. Why didn't they talk about that? I'm going to get us out of Ukraine. All right, cool. What's going on with Israel and Iran? I want to hear that we're not going to go to war with Iran. And I'm not understand. I don't think that that's something I'm ever going to hear because we're already, getting involved as far as, sending billions. So I thought that they were going to press on the Israel issue. I mean, especially since Joe Rogan has talked about Gaza on his show. So I was shocked. They didn't talk anything about it. That's very important to me, considering all the anti-Semitism bills and everything else that's getting ready to come out. I have a problem with a lot of that. So that bothered me because it's always the same topic. It's always the same topic that you can't touch. So now it's like, to me, look, I'm going to keep it real. There's a lot of, and this is my final thought. Look, there was some candid moments. I thought it was amazing when he talked about Abe Lincoln's room and, where he slept his bed and that he was with Melania looking at these different things in the White House and how everything was surreal. He talked about his scar on his ear, all of it. And Trump is an amazing communicator. I can already tell he's so easy to talk to. He knows how to de-escalate you, like to bring your guard down and charm you up and then sell himself to you. He's a Gemini, first of all, so that's how we are. But I like that. And I thought that was fun because for a second I was like, man, I wish, things were the same. But I go back to the same thing. There should not be anything. Let me tell you, okay, and I'll end with this. As an American, there should not be a single topic that it can't be on the table. In this country, we're supposed to be indignant with our speech, yet there's one topic that Joe Rogan did not touch on. And it's the topic that at the time of their interview was escalating in a heated manner. And yeah, it was a soft hit, whatever, not much happened. But are you serious? This didn't happen during his term. This is something that should be talked about because that's calamity, right? So we still, nobody's free, I guess. Nobody's free. And it's extraordinary. It really is. It's like, you wait for this whole thing where we can have all kinds of discussions, but except for there's the one discussion that we could never, ever, ever have. And this is the potential next president. I want to know, what's up with all the wars? I do want to know. It is what it is. But I did enjoy listening to the rest of the stuff. It was pretty cool. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.